I wish this could be some beautifully made, beautifully edited, beautifully presented video. Alas, it's not going to be. It is literally going to be a catch-up, just a chatty catch-up video. I'm trying to work out where I can put you. One moment. There we go. Right, so the only thing I can promise you is that I have a beverage, which I normally do in these videos. I normally just sit down, make a brew, and basically have a chat with you all. And that is what I'm going to do today. I'm just getting the camera up because Soph is just in her bedroom playing, while I'm in what will be Enzo's room. And basically what I'm going to do today, hopefully it's not too annoying, and the audio is like okay and stuff, because what I planned to do was just kind of have a chat with you and just do bits around the room, because I really need to just get this room sorted out. Enzo is 7 months old next week. He's still obviously in our room at the moment because his room is just nowhere near ready for him. Not that that's a bad thing. We kept Soph with us for 7 and a bit, 8 months I think. So it just is what it is. But yeah, I'm just going to get on and do some bits, and I'm just kind of gonna like update you on things as I go along. I don't really know where best to put you, like I say, so you can actually kind of hear me. So you don't need to be able to see me. This is one of those kind of videos that you can put on in the background, just kind of listen to while you're washing up, or I don't know, getting your baby to sleep or whatever. If you haven't already invested in some wireless headphones, I really suggest that you do that for such occasions. So where am I even going to put you? Oh, I don't know where to put you. There's literally so much stuff everywhere. Let me just show you the room first before I get talking. So we've literally just got back from holiday a couple of days ago, so there's just stuff everywhere, washing to put away, suitcases, my wardrobe, stuff. Oh god. So excuse me if I can't find anywhere to put you. I'm just going to put you down here. It's not going to be the most flattering angle, but it doesn't need to be. We're just going to have a chat. So where do I even begin? So I genuinely don't know where to start. So let's start with what's kind of coming up. So the only thing that we kind of had to look forward to as such this year was our trip to Italy. So I don't really know where to start, to be quite honest with you. It's all just a bit of a kind of mixture of emotions going on at the moment. A lot kind of surrounding Sophia and stuff like that, which if you're new around here, then Sophia is our 2.5-year-old little girl, who has a chromosome duplication, which kind of not causes, but kind of comes with a multitude of other things, like learning disability, global development delay, all that sort of thing, which I'm not going to go into this video. I have spoken about it a couple of times on here, and I do talk about it quite often on my Instagram. I feel really rude that I'm like talking to you but not at you, if you know what I mean. So I apologise for that, but needs must. I've got to take this opportunity while Enzo is asleep. Joe's downstairs with him. But yeah, anyways. So yeah, there's a lot of mixed emotions around her at the moment, and we're just really struggling, to put it bluntly. Both me and Joe, my husband, are really kind of struggling with kind of how she's been lately, and stuff, and we just don't really know don't really know what we're doing, to be honest. We didn't really know what we were doing anyway with a child. It's just a learning curve, isn't it? When you have your first child, regardless of whether you've kind of been around young children or not, it is just a massive learning curve. And obviously ours is even more curved in a sense that we obviously just don't really know how best to help Sophia progress and things like that, and how best to kind of cope with certain situations, etc. So, as I said a second ago, we recently just got back from a holiday, or I say it's a holiday, it wasn't like a holiday, it was a trip. We went abroad, we went to my husband's like best friend's wedding, which was really, really lovely, but the initial plan was that it was meant to be myself, my husband, and both Sophia and Enzo, but we booked a stay at a hotel at Gatwick the night before our flight, because we had one of those stupid early morning flights. So we thought that it would be easier to stay in a hotel the night before, rather than having to do the 2-hour drive to Gatwick. It's stupid in the morning, sort of thing. And if you follow me on Instagram, then you'll probably have seen what happened. But in short, Sophia didn't come. Sophia didn't come to Italy at all, because that night that we obviously were staying in Gatwick, she just had the biggest meltdown of all meltdowns, like the biggest she's ever had, and it was so difficult, because obviously we were stuck in a hotel room, in a kind of small space with Enzo, trying to get him settled, trying to obviously beat our own anxieties around travelling, and kind of thoughts about what was going to happen the day of travelling anyway. So we had all these kind of emotions anyway going on. We were trying to obviously contend with both children, and then we were trying to then contend with her having, like I say, a major meltdown. I think a lot of it was, unfortunately, I'm just moving the camera so I can see, so was around So's not sleeping. So she didn't nap in the car on the way up to Gatwick, and she just point blank refused to sleep in the hotel. And it kind of just brings me to when people always say to me, like, oh, you shouldn't worry so much, like she'll get so tired that she'll just crash out, which is kind of what people had said to me when I said I felt anxious about going to Italy anyway, and how she would sleep there and blah blah blah. And I kind of had it in my head that, you know, between all of the different, so I'm like standing and trying, between all of like the different things going on, the swimming, the heat, like everything, that she would just be like that. But obviously I wouldn't know, because she didn't come in the end. But that night, obviously we were due to stay the night before, she wouldn't. She would not sleep. She would, despite not having had a nap either, which obviously made things 10 times worse. If you have a toddler, you'll probably know what I mean. Yeah, so she was obviously overtired, massively overtired, in a new environment and everything else. And she wouldn't sleep in her like travel cot thing, which I can totally understand, because it was basically like a wooden mattress and it was just awful. Yeah, she wouldn't sleep in there, and I don't know if part of that was because it was just in a room with all of us. Obviously me trying to settle Enzo, and he was fairly unsettled as well, because his day had been a bit here, there and everywhere, so he was kind of refusing to sleep as well. And yeah, so there was a mixture of that. So she wouldn't sleep in the cot, and then I thought, right, okay, I'm going to just take her out the room because she kept screaming. I'm going to just take her out the room, put her in a pram, and just walk around outside the hotel and just hope for the best, basically. And I did that. It wasn't working at all. I had the snooze shade over her and everything, but she just wasn't having any of it at all. So I came back inside to where Joe's parents were sat in the bar because they were coming with us. Yeah, went back into them, sat and had a drink. Joe's mum took Soph out to try and get her to sleep again, just in pram. Just thought, right, I'm just going to keep walking, and just hope for the best, basically. It didn't work, naturally, and it started to get to kind of 10, 11 o'clock. We were all just absolutely exhausted at that point. Typically, Enzo had woke me and Joe up at 4 o'clock in the morning that day, so we were just naturally spooked already. So yeah, so they then decided they were going to go to bed. I took Soph up as well and thought, right, okay, I'm going to try again, just put her in the cot, put her tablet on, and just kind of give her a minute and then turn it off and see what happens. We did that. She just started screaming. So I didn't know what to do. I took her back out again, tried to walk around with her, again wasn't working. Enzo obviously at this point was getting pretty upset as well because he was refusing to sleep. So ended up being me and Joe both walking around the outside of the hotel, her in the pram, him in the carrier, neither of them sleeping, us absolutely exhausted, Joe's parents trying to get some rest, and it was just intense. It just kind of kept going on and on and on. I then ended up taking Enzo up back to the room because he just wasn't sleeping, and I said I need to just lay down and feed him and hope that he goes to sleep, and luckily he did. And then Joe was obviously still pushing Soph around in the pram downstairs, and then eventually I got a text at 12:30 to say she's gone to sleep. I thought, great, okay. And he even said at that point, he was like, right, okay, we've only got to last until 3:30ish before we've got to get the bus to the terminal, and then whatever happens from there. We know she would have had like 3 hours sleep, so I will literally keep walking to keep her asleep. And if you've had a child that doesn't sleep very well, then you will know what we mean by we will do anything at this point. So he was willing to do that, so he did. And then I got a text an hour later. Obviously I wasn't asleep at this point either. I couldn't get to sleep at all because I just was anxious. Yeah, so I then got a text an hour later to say she's awake. That someone had basically like dropped a bag or something, and it was quite loud and it woke her up. So that then cued the meltdown, which I'm still super emotional just thinking about it because it was horrific. Yeah, it was just really, really horrible to have to experience because, like I say, there was no comfort for her in that moment other than us, which she doesn't really get comfort from. I literally tried everything I possibly could to just calm her down, and it just wasn't working. It took well over an hour to get her to calm down, by which point we had to make a decision. Bearing in mind, also we had checked in all of our luggage because we could have checked it in the night before, because our flight allowed it. So we'd done all that, we didn't have any of our stuff, we just had our hand luggage sort of thing. We had to make the decision whether Joe and his parents went back to the terminal to offload all of our bags and tell them that we weren't flying, or just try anyway. And it was honestly the hardest decision I've ever had to make in my life. Actually, no, saying that, the decision we made the next day probably was. Yeah, it was really, really difficult, but we got her to calm down and we just made the decision it wasn't worth trying to go. She was absolutely beside herself. We had no idea how she was going to react anyway to being on a plane, regardless of whether she'd slept or not. So the fact that she hadn't, we were just like, it's just, I can't do this. I can't risk her being like this the whole time we're travelling, which would have been a long time, a very long day. Can't risk her doing that, and then also potentially doing this while we're out there, because she may not sleep for the same reasoning, like being in a travel cot, being in the same room as us, blah blah blah. So yeah, made that decision. They went and got the bags and we all went home. And then we all had a bit of a sleep. Luckily I have a friend that lives around the corner. She messaged and was like, look, drop sofa around here, and just go and have a nap. So that is what we did. Me, Joe and Enzo all had a nap together. Soph went round there after she'd obviously had a bit of a sleep in the morning, and just kind of refreshed ourselves a bit. And after that I then phoned my mum and said, she was like, what? I was like, I'm not in Italy, am I? As I kind of anticipated I would be right now. And she was like, she obviously asked what happened, and I told her. I got completely, it was just a mess, absolute mess, because like both of us kind of keep saying around this kind of experience that we're going through, having a child with additional needs, that, you know, we keep trying these things, we keep trying to push her out of her comfort zone, and we keep trying to push ourselves out of our own comfort zones to do things like, you know, to be able to go out as a family, even if it's just for a couple of hours, to pop into town and have a wander around. Like, so this was a big thing for us to, you know, be booking to go abroad. And yeah, I just felt, both of us felt like, why do we even fucking bother? Like, this was bound to happen. We just felt so shit. Both of us, we were texting each other, in fact, while Joe was downstairs rocking, like pushing Sophie and pram. We were texting each other and just saying how shit we both felt, and how we're both just so fucking done. So done with this. So done with not being able to do anything, not knowing what to do with her or for her to help her, and even just to be able to support each other. Like, we're both just so mentally done, and to be fair, physically as well, because I have a 6-month-old. And yeah, so I was very emotional on the phone to my mum, and without a hesitation, without even a conversation with her partner, she just said, if you can rebook your flight, because I'd said that Joe was looking at rebooking onto another flight so that he could still obviously go to his best friend's wedding, and that I would just stay at home with the kids. But she was like, if you can rebook the flights, I will have Soph for the week, and you three just go on your own. Because I was going to breastfeed in Enzo, so I had to bring him with us. And yeah, like I say, that was probably, I don't know if that was the harder decision than to not go, or at least close. She's throwing stuff around her room. A harder decision to make by leaving her with my mum for a week. Like, it was so difficult. What? Enzo's now awake, great. Yeah, anyways, it was a hard weekend, and we managed to go in the end. We did leave her with my mum, and we got on a new flight, and we enjoyed ourselves. I'm not gonna lie, I don't want that to sound mean towards Sophia, but we enjoyed ourselves. It was the break that we needed, to put it in the nicest way possible. It was. We so needed that. But now it's just kind of back to reality, back to not knowing really what we're doing anymore. Soph starts nursery soon, within the next couple of weeks, as I'm filming this, and that obviously brings a whole mixture of emotions too. I think that is my son learning to do the stairs. Hello, baby. Oh, did he just wake up? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna go and I'll resume this chat later. Hello. 1 minute. Let me get my tripod. Right. Hopefully that's better. Sorry if you're a bit wibbly wobbly, but you're precariously balanced on a piece of children's soft play. So yeah. Anyways, it is a completely different day. It's a different month, in fact. I think it's potentially 2 months since the last clip that you saw, which honestly blows my mind because time has gone so slowly recently. But there are certain parts that have gone like really, really fast. Like when I look at Enzo and see what he's doing, I'm like, how is time going so quickly? But yeah, so I thought, good catch, good catch. I thought I would come and try and kind of finish this update. What is my camera doing? It's just like, wants to dive bomb off the sofa. Uno momento, por favor. Hopefully that's okay. You are probably a little bit wonky, but we're just gonna ignore that. Hopefully you've got this just like on in the background or something while you're going about your day. But yeah, so I don't even remember where I got to when I was last speaking to you. I think I told you about the holiday and what happened, and I think the last thing I said before Enzo then woke up was that Soph was starting nursery. So that's what makes me think it's been a little while since I actually started this video, because she has been at nursery a little while now. She started in, I think, shadow settling in sessions, yeah, the end of July. And she started the first week of August. And as I am filming this clip, it is the 30th of August. So it has been basically a whole month since she started. And I was so looking forward to this stage where she started nursery and it was just me and Enzo, full well knowing that obviously she would get something out of it, we would get something out of the time, and stuff. And I think we're very much still in that kind of settling period of kind of finding our routine. Like, she's fully settled there, but it's just finding our routine at the moment of like how we do things, like when she gets home, and what we do with the time in between, because I get up with Joe in the morning and get like Soph ready, like do her hair and stuff, because he's just a typical bloke, he can't do it. And yeah, so I get her ready, so I'm up then anyway. I mean, generally I'm up because of Enzo anyway. But yeah, I get her up and ready, they leave at like 7:15, and then they come home. Well, Joe picks her up at 12:30, so they're home probably 10 minutes after that. So that always sounds like such a long time, doesn't it? And then when you're actually sitting there going through it, you're like, it's really not that long at all. Especially when you've got a baby that's obviously like unpredictable. Like, he's 8 months old now, doesn't nap at particularly regular intervals, doesn't feed at regular times, he's still just exclusively breastfed on demand, and it's all just, we do what we can when we can, basically. And the last like week and a half especially have been like particularly hard because we've all had a really bad cold, and it's just thrown us off completely. And it is actually times like this that make me think, or make me realise, sorry, how difficult like our situation is, like with Soph. And that's nothing against her, but with her additional needs, whenever she's ill, it's just so much more harder to manage because she can't tell us what she wants or what she needs or what's wrong or anything. And the way she is, like, she's on the go all the time, even when she's ill. And you know what it's like when kids are ill and they just want to kind of just mong, and they just generally sit on the sofa or just kind of like are a bit slower. She just doesn't have that in her, so she is just so exhausted all the time because her body's trying to fight off this virus, but at the same time it cannot sit still. And I totally get that because although I haven't gone through my assessment yet, I'm pretty sure I have ADHD, so I know what that's like. But I do also have that thing in me that I know when to just kind of sit if I need to, but she doesn't really have that yet. And she really struggles to regulate herself in general, and then throwing like illness into the mix again, it just makes it so much harder for her to do that. So it's been a challenging week. It's been a challenging few months, to be quite honest, which is kind of why I started making this video, just to kind of say like where I've been, blah de blah. Obviously, like, I knew it would be hard going from one child to two, and I knew I probably wouldn't be as active on here, like making videos and stuff, and it probably didn't hit me quite how hard it was going to be until it actually happened. And I can talk about that in another video. I won't go into depth in this one, in case you're not really interested in like the transition of children. If you do want to see that kind of video, then do let me know, and probably at some point in the next 3 years I might get it up. But yeah, it's just been really hard, and I thought that obviously with her going to nursery that I would start to kind of have a bit more time to kind of get back into it, even just kind of slowly going back to 1 day a week and stuff. But the reality is, obviously, between trying to do everything for Enzo, trying to fit in what needs to be done in the house in those few hours, because I can't do it any other time, because Enzo's still quite unsettled in the evening. So although he does obviously go to bed at like a similar sort of time every day upstairs, I still then can't use the evening to then get on top of things, because he still wakes quite frequently in that initial part of the night. So as much as I do try, I still have to do a lot of stuff during the day. So a lot of that stuff I do just do when she's at nursery, like she's at nursery this morning, hence why it's so quiet. And I've just got on my second load of washing. I've stripped our bed, I've remade Enzo's bed, I've washed my hair. It's little things like that that I'm like trying to cram in this really short space of time around looking after the 8-month-old. And then I'm like, just making a YouTube video is just, it's not the last thing on my mind, because if I could explain to you how much I think about it, I would, but I'm really crap at explaining things. Yeah, there's so many things up here, so many ideas, so many things that I want to do, so much content that I want to make, and just the time element is just not my friend at the minute. And I know that will change in time, but I just kind of feel like almost like I'm stood still and everything else around me is just kind of carrying on, and kind of, I don't know, like, what's the word? like not progressing, but like everything's kind of getting bigger and better around me, and I'm not staying caught up with it all, if that makes any sense. Kind of like when I had Soph, TikTok started to become a thing, and I was like, do you know what? I can't be arsed with it, to be quite honest with you. And it took so long, or it's been so long now, that I'm like, I can't jump on that because it's so far off what my brain can contend with that I just couldn't do it. And I'm kind of like that with YouTube. I don't think that even makes any sense. It makes sense in my mind, but I know what I'm trying to say, but I just can't articulate it. But it's like that with YouTube, in that I'm like, oh well, I want to make this video and this video and this video, and then I'm like, yeah, but everybody just likes YouTube shorts now and TikTok videos and all of this. Nobody wants to see all those videos that you want to make, kind of thing. And then that puts me off in the time that I do have to do it, and then I just kind of have these conversations with myself where I'm just like, I might as well just stop, just completely, not delete my channel, but maybe private all my videos so that nobody finds it, because I don't want to be that person that, you know, they'll stumble across a video where I've said, like in this one for example, oh well, I'll make more content like that in the future if you'd like it, and then they go to find it and it's not there because I've just suddenly just stopped uploading. Yeah, I don't know. I really don't know what I want to do anymore with the channel. Like, I really still want to make videos, but the videos that I want to make, I'm just kind of like, I don't know if it is my channel anymore. I mean, I've thought this multiple times over the years. Do I just start all over again? Do I just start a new channel with, like, not a specific niche, but with a new kind of focus? Because this channel was very much developed around beauty. It was the beauty blogger era, and that's what I kind of jumped on. I liked doing beauty hauls and makeup, not tutorials, but like get ready with me's and all of that stuff. I loved talking about beauty, and it's when I became a beauty therapist as well, so it just kind of went hand in hand. But now, obviously my channel has evolved over the time that I have been on YouTube, and it has kind of developed more into just a whatever I want to post channel, mainly motherhood focused in the last kind of 2.5 years, well, 3 years, I suppose, if you include pregnancy. But it has kind of changed so much, and I've tried different things, like so many different things. Like, I've tried kind of doing motivational clean with me videos, organisation videos, declutters and all of that side of things, and then just like vlogs, and then kind of more sit down specific topic focused videos around like parenthood and all of that stuff. And I'm just kind of like, I feel like I'm confusing myself in doing that, but I also feel like I'm obviously confusing my audience as well. Like, my subscribers, like, it goes up, it's gone up continuously over the last few years, very slowly, but it's still going up. People are still finding my channel. So if you have stumbled across this video, which I think is highly unlikely, and if you have, you probably wouldn't be here at this point, you would have switched off long ago, but yeah, if you do watch my channel now, like, are you one of those people? Like, I mean, I've followed people like this in the past, like myself, that kind of just do a bit of everything, and I don't mind that. Like, there's certain people that I'll basically just watch any video that they put up just because I like their style, or I just like watching them in general. And so I don't know if any of you guys are like that just kind of watch anything that I upload, or whether there's just specifics that you see and you think, oh yeah, that's, you know, kind of targeted to me, so I'm going to watch that. I don't really know. So the long and short of it is, I don't know. I don't know what to do with my channel anymore. I sometimes, like I just said, I feel like just kind of stopping this one and starting all over again. But then I feel like it's taken so long to build this up, and I know that if I did that I'd probably regret it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't rightly know. The only thing I do know right now is that my coffee is cold. I've already pinged it once as well. I am exhausted mentally, physically, emotionally. Are you okay? Yeah, good. And yeah, I'm just tired. Very, very tired. There is a lot going on that I don't talk about. A lot going on that I do talk about that doesn't really make any sense. But yeah, if you have got this far, give this video a thumbs up, just so I know how many people have kind of got to this point. And also, pop a comment down below. I'm really sorry if you're watching this on like a TV or something. That's generally how I watch YouTube these days, so I know a lot of other people do as well. I'm sorry if you do, because it makes it a bit more of a mission to write a comment. But please write a comment down below, either with what kind of content you like to see, whether you are, like I said before, the kind of person that watches just anything that I upload, or if there's specifics. Let me know if you think I should just start again. Like, I think the majority of you will say no, don't. And also just let me know how you are. I really miss chatting to you guys in the comments. I know I've been really bad, and I am really bad at replying to comments, and a lot of that is because I see a comment, especially if it has a question in it, or if it's like more than like 3 lines long, and my brain just instantly thinks I need to sit down and focus my attention on replying to that comment or that question or whatever. And the reality is I never get that time to just sit down and actually focus on replying. So then I just don't, and then I think if I reply 6 months later it's going to look really weird. It's probably going to look even worse than just not replying at all. And yeah, that's just how my brain works. Welcome. Yeah, I'm going to try my very hardest to get this video like edited together. Obviously it's just me talking, so hopefully it won't take too long. Sorry, it has been really long, by the way. I don't think there's much I'm going to cut out of it. But yeah, I hope you're all well. And hopefully I'll speak to you again real soon. I've got really bad reflux and I feel a bit sick. Okay, thanks, bye.